What's up, cool cats and kittens? That's all staying in the video. I'm not cutting any of that. We are back with another week of Sissy's Super Sunday NFL picks. She killed it last week. 3-2 record. Real life New York City handicapper in here. These are the picks you need. Here's what we did last week. 3-2. Here's what she won on. Miami and the points. That was easy. Vegas crushed the Broncos. Easy money all day. Giants money line. That was a huge winner because they were underdogs and they whipped the SHIT out of the Eagles. But that cruel mistress primetime came back to bite us. Lost on the Ravens-Patriots game where we had the Ravens. Lost on the Bears-Vikings game. That one, everything I said would happen in that game happened.
Yeah, you called that.
The Bears shut down the Vikings running game. Kirk Cousins had a typical Kirk Cousins name. The Bears just had absolutely no way of doing anything on offense, and that killed us. So, blame the Bears, not us. That one was the Bears' fault, not ours. Alright, so we're back in it. Another week of football. This one's coming out earlier than last week's. Last week we put it out Sunday. This is coming out Thursday, so we're actually going to have the Thursday night game possibly in the mix. Full slate. Week 11 is on the board. Here's how it goes. I've got 10 picks. This was a hard one to do. This week's games kind of suck in terms of like picks. There was nothing I really liked, so it was kind of hard to narrow it down to 10. We also had 3 games that are automatically off the board from the rules that I follow. We have Baltimore, Tennessee. Not betting that because we don't bet Titans games. Green Bay, Indiana. Indianapolis. Colts off the board. We don't bet the Colts. Jacksonville's off the board. We don't bet the Jags.
How did you say that again?
I said Indiana, but I was mistaken. I meant to say Indianapolis, and then I just went with it and rolled with it.
I know.
Those 3 are off the board. We're not betting those just because I don't bet the Titans. I don't bet the Titans rivals. Jags, Steelers, that's off the board. I did want to say, if I was going to bet the Colts game, I'd probably go with Green Bay plus 2.5 because I think Indianapolis, I still think they stink. I think we just make them look really good, that we played to their strengths instead of taking advantage of their weaknesses when the Titans lost to them. Water under the bridge. We'll pass it up. I wouldn't say Green, but I think Green Bay can beat the crap out of Indianapolis because Phillip Rivers is washed. Pittsburgh, Jacksonville. I'd maybe go Jacksonville because for whatever reason they've kept things close and Pittsburgh doesn't seem to be able to beat teams up that bad even though they're really good. Who knows? Not bet any of those. Those are just suggestions. Alright, so we got 10 picks. Last week I did 8 I liked and 2 I don't like. I couldn't even find 8 that I really like this week, so this is just 10. There's probably like 7 in here that I think are pretty good and 3 that are just whatever. We're going to go through them. Let's see what Sissy thinks. She's going to pick the best 5 I have. That's what we're rolling with this week. This video is going to come out on Thursday, so starting with tonight's game. Should be a really fun game. Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks. Basically for top spot in the NFC West for Arizona if they win. Seattle is kind of struggling right now. This is kind of a must-win game for them. I had to look at this like 5 times when I was getting the lines. At the time of filming, Arizona is plus 3.5. Seattle, 3.5 point favorite. I don't see how that's possible because Seattle has been trash lately. This is one of those lines that jumps out to me where I'm like, oh God, what does Vegas know that I don't know? Because Seattle's defense is probably the only defense worse than the Titans' defense. Arizona's got an insane offense. I feel like Arizona's going to put up like 60 points in this game on their own.
I would say Arizona, but because it's so obvious.
Right. That makes you kind of think, like, why?
Yeah.
Why is this the other way? Because it feels like...
I don't think I want to bet on that.
I was expecting Arizona to be at least a 2-3 point favorite in this game, and they're 3.5 point underdogs. Now that could shift once money... It's, we're filming this on a Tuesday night, so maybe the money's not in yet. Maybe once the public and sharp money comes in, that'll shift and change a little bit. We'll see what it's at on Thursday. That might be one we have to come back and look at closer to game time, because that's weird to me. Like, I'm really tempted to take it, like, right now, because I think Arizona wins that game outright. But it's weird that they're the favorite. I don't know what to think about that one.
Yeah.
Because I think Arizona wins, but I think it'll be close just because they don't play that good a defense either. It's weird, though. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. I don't know if we're going to put that one on the official card.
Yeah, that's too... That I wouldn't. That's
follow
risky.
me on Twitter, because if I do anything with it on Twitter, I'll tweet it out Thursday. Uncle Mad, Uncle_Mad, Mad with 2 Ds. Alright, so we're probably going to go away from that one. I like another play from that game, though, and these are the ones that Sissy always feels a little iffy about. I like the over. It's 57.5. That's a huge number, but I could easily see this game being like a 42-35, 42-30
It's
41
still,
game.
It's still risky, though.
I mean, every bet's risky, but that's another one. Probably not going to play it, but I'm going to definitely keep an eye on it because I think these teams won't play much defense and both will just run up and down the field on each other. Keep an eye on that. Next one, New England, 3.5-point favorites over the Houston Texans. New England struggled. They've been kind of up and down. Big win for them over Baltimore on Sunday night. Here's where I like them in this game. It's Bill Belichick against Romeo Crennel, one of his former assistant coaches. Typically, he smashes all his former assistant coaches, and Houston has just stunk this year anyway. Vrabel and Brian Flores down in Miami are two of the only former Belichick assistants that have ever come back and had any kind of success against him. I like him to beat up on his old assistant. I like the Texans. I think they stink. I think New England is finding a little bit of rhythm. I don't think they're good, but I think they're putting things together in a way where they can win games against crappy teams like this. I like New England minus 3.5 in that game.
It sounds good, but I don't know. I think I would go Texas.
Okay.
I think.
New England last week, and we saw how that turned out.
I know. Okay. You know what? I'm going to take your advice on this one.
We'll put a question.
We're going to go New England.
I'm going to put a question mark there. We'll come back to that because
why don't we just?
We got 7 more plays. We got to narrow it down to 5. That might not be one of the best 5. We got 7 more to pick from. Here's the next one I've got listed.
Okay.
Falcons, Saints. Falcons are a 5.5-point underdog. Here's the thing here. Falcons have started to play a little bit better. It took them a couple weeks after the new coach bump. They're not good. They're not good. But here's the thing with New Orleans. They just lost Drew Brees. He's out for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Could be out for the season. Broken ribs, punctured lungs. Jameis Winston is coming in.
Who's he?
There you go. He was the former first-round draft pick, first overall draft pick by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He can throw for a lot of yards. He'll throw for touchdowns, but he's got tons of mistakes in him unless he had LASIK eye surgery in the offseason. And there have been people talking about they can't wait to see him play to see if he's still going to be really bad or if the eye surgery fixed his issues. Because last season he had 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions, first play in NFL history to have 30 and 30. So he's got some good plays in him, but he's also going to make a ton of mistakes unless the eye surgery fixed it. Either way, it's going to be a weird week for New Orleans because they're going to have to kind of change things around, do things differently than what they normally do with Drew Brees being out. Even if Jameis plays really well, it's probably not going to be a normal New Orleans Saints game. I think most likely they try to limit what he has to do, which tells me if that's the case, it's probably going to be a close-scoring game. They're probably going to run the ball a lot, not be trying to throw the ball over the place, put up a bunch of points. I like the Falcons to keep it close. I see the Saints winning this game by maybe 3 points, so 5.5 points for the Falcons. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to say, too.
Okay, so I think we like that one. That might be our first official pick of the week.
I was trying to get a word in there, but you wouldn't let me.
Okay, sorry. I will
That's okay.
speak slower, do more pauses, so you can...
It's for being born and raised in the South. You talk fast. You sound like you're from New York.
Well, speaking of New York and places where people were born, our real-life New York City Handicapper gets a chance to weigh in on the other New York team. Last week, she got us a winner with the New York Giants money line, probably our biggest winner of the week. This week, I'm looking at the Jets. They are 9.5-point underdogs to the LA Chargers. Now, the Jets stink. They are probably the worst team in the NFL.
I told you I was embarrassed to tell you I've gone and watched them play. And it's embarrassing.
Yeah. They have not won a game this season. I do not think they're going to win this week. But I have a hard time seeing the Chargers beat anybody by double digits when they've crapped away every game they've been in the season. You know, they should have won probably about 5 or 6 more games than they have, and they've just found ways to lose games. They play everybody close. They don't put teams away when they should.
Why don't we just go with the Jets on this one?
Okay, let's do it. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, let's make it let's throw in some fun there.
I think the Chargers win, but 9.5 is a huge spread for a team like the Chargers, who has shown that they have no understanding of how you actually win football games. So, all right, next one on the card that I have. This is one I really like. Miami minus 3.5 at Denver. Denver has been pretty bad, and now their quarterback might be out too. Miami is getting better and better by the week. The more Tua plays, the better he looks. Miami was a winner for us last week.
Miami,
there we go. I like it. That was probably my favorite one on the card. Of course, at some point in time, there is going to be a comeback down to earth game for Miami. I like them. I think they're getting better. I don't think it's this week, though. I think Denver's about to go in the tank. I think this is what's happening to Denver. This is the fall off the cliff week for Denver, not the comeback down to earth week for Miami. My humble opinion. All right, this next one, I don't like a whole lot, but it makes sense in my brain a little bit. So sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to think, I don't like this, but my brain makes sense of it. If that makes sense. I don't even know if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
All right, so Minnesota, Dallas Cowboys. Dallas coming off a bye week. Minnesota is an 8.5-point favorite. Overall, Dallas might be the worst team other than the Jets this season. But they're getting their quarterback, well, not their quarterback, their backup quarterback, Andy Dalton, back.
I don't think that's going to help them.
I just think they managed to survive with like worse quarterbacks the last couple of weeks. They weren't getting beat terribly. They almost beat the Steelers. Probably should have beat the Steelers.
I would say
it's similar to the Jets, where 8.5 is just too big of a number.
Yeah.
I don't think Dallas wins this game, but 8.5 seems like a lot, especially because Minnesota's got a short week. They just played on Monday night, so they got one less day of rest. Dallas is coming off a bye; they've had tons of rest.
So what are the points?
Minnesota's favored by 8.5. So if Dallas, I like Dallas because all they have to do is finish the game within 8.5 points of Minnesota.
And pretty much show up.
Yeah. Just don't get blown out, and that's a winner.
Well, in that case, I would say then, I wouldn't take Minnesota because of the points.
But maybe not Dallas also. Let's put a question mark there. We've got 3 that are probably for sures, 2 maybes, 3 picks to go. All right, next. Here's what we got next. I've got KC minus 6.5, Kansas City Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champs, minus 6.5 over the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders were a winner for us last week, but they were playing the crappy Broncos. Raiders beat the Chiefs when they played each other earlier this season. A little bit of a revenge game for KC.
I think Kansas is on a roll.
Yeah, they've been. That was kind of their last hiccup, was that Vegas game.
Yeah.
They have to keep pace with the Steelers to have a chance at the number 1 seed.
Right.
This is a game they can't afford to lose after losing the first one to Vegas. You know, I think they maybe took Vegas not seriously the first game, and by the time they got into the game, it was a little out of hand, and Vegas had kind of got up on them. I like Kansas City revenge spot. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to put that one in. That's another one for us. All right, last 2. These 2 were a little wonkier. The next one's okay. We've got the Rams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay's favored by 3.5. I kind of like the matchup for the Rams because where Brady has struggled, Tom Brady plays for the Buccaneers now. I don't know if you knew that.
I did.
Okay, good. She's caught up to speed. The teams that have had success against the Buccaneers have been the teams that have been able to get pressure on Brady, not just let him sit there and throw the ball. The Rams have the biggest pressure beast in the entire NFL, and Aaron Donald. I like them to be able to get in Brady's face, make him uncomfortable, make him do things he doesn't like to do. The problem with this game is, you could say the same for the Rams. Jared Goff, when he's got time to throw the ball, he looks like the best quarterback in the league. Teams have been able to pressure him. He's struggled. Tampa Bay can probably get a little pressure on him, do the same thing that will happen to Brady. This one's kind of a crapshoot. I like Rams if I have to pick, but honestly, I could see this game going either way.
I like Tampa.
Yeah, see, the other factor for this one is LA is going all the way across the country to play in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I feel like LA's played on the East Coast like 20 times this season. I don't know how that's happened. It seems unfair to them. I'm not going to cry for them. I don't care about them.
Yeah.
But I kind of like LA, but now I've kind of almost talked myself into not liking LA. But every time I've liked Tampa, they've sucked. Every time I've gone against Tampa, they've been good. They've been a weird team for me this season.
Well, I wanted Tampa, not you.
I'm crossing that one off because that one's blown my mind.
Okay.
I talked myself out of that one.
But just circle it because now I want to know the outcome.
Okay, that's one thing I'll do this week. We'll go back. I'll get the official results of all these so we can not only compare the ones we picked, but the ones we skipped too.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last one, this is one Sissy probably won't like because it's an over-under. I had Atlanta, New Orleans Saints, over 51.5, but that's another one where now that I've already talked myself out of that because like I said earlier, I think New Orleans tries to slow the game down, tries to simplify it, tries to keep... I don't like that one. I'm crossing that one off. Okay, here's what we got. Here's our official picks. We got 4 official picks and 2 maybes, so we just got to get one more from the 2 maybes. So our 4 officials we got so far, we got Kansas City minus 6.5 against Vegas, Miami minus 3.5 against Denver, Jets plus 9.5 against the Chargers, Falcons plus 5.5 versus Saints. Those are locked in. Those are 4. We need one from these two. What do we like better? New England minus 3.5 against Houston, or Dallas plus 8.5 against Minnesota?
I think the New England one is are better chances.
Okay, let's do it then. We're crossing Dallas off, and we're adding New England. All right, so here it is.
That is a crappy lineup.
Yeah, I mean, and this is just the 10 that I picked. The stuff that I overlooked, there's Cincinnati's playing Washington. Who knows what's going to happen in that game? It's two crappy teams playing each other. I don't like that at all. There's another game. Detroit's playing somebody. Detroit, Carolina, that's another one. That could go anywhere. There's no reason to pick anything there. A lot of games like that it was just like, it's two crappy teams playing each other. Who knows what could happen? Don't want to touch them. So here's our 5 picks for this week, courtesy of our real-life New York City handicapper, Sissy. We've got New England minus 3.5 over Houston. Falcons plus 5.5 over New Orleans. Versus New Orleans. Jets plus 9.5 versus the Chargers. Miami minus 3.5 versus the Broncos. And Kansas City minus 6.5 versus Vegas. I like those. If I was going to pick 5, that might have been the 5 I picked. So I think we're kind of starting to have a little brain sync going here. So 3-2 last week, winning record. I would recommend you follow our picks. They did really well last week. I expect things to trend upward now because Sissy's getting more back into her groove, feeling it. She's getting back into that old mindset where she's on the streets calling up the bookie going, hey, put a 5 on the Giants minus 20. she's getting that old mindset back, so I think we're going to start rolling here.
I miss my bookie. He was my friend.
Good stuff. If Sissy wins enough, I might even throw her some money. I might even cut her in on the winnings. Not yet, but we'll see. Still in the test pilot phase.
He told me how much he wins. It's no.
If she took 10% of my winnings right now, she'd get about $3. So
yeah.
Let's see here. Anything else I want to do on this card? Nope. Like I said, if I end up doing anything with the Thursday night game, which will be airing tonight, I'll post that on my Twitter account, so you can check me out there for any updated plays. We're filming this on Tuesday, so these lines obviously will probably be a little different by the time Sunday. You know, I like all these where they're at now. It's hard to tell where they're going to move, so maybe you want to lock them in early. Maybe you want to wait, see if they move in a favorable direction. It's up to you. The great thing about this is, here in Nashville, we have multiple sports books to choose from. They all kind of can be different, so shop around, find the lines you like best, roll with your picks, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for all notifications, leave comments down below if you have picks, let us know. We're always open to suggestion. Give the video a thumbs up, not a thumbs down. Don't stand so close to me because you might have corona and I don't want corona. I gotta work. I can't miss work because I'm losing all my money on this stuff, so gotta do it. We're out of here.
Peace out.
Sissy, do some more funny stuff like you did at the start of the video.
Oh, stop it.
Like fart. Do a fart or something.
I did not fart.
It's on tape. Everybody's gonna see it.